That's a good point. I would like to see Vic turn up the heat a little bit. Put some pressure on this guy. Make him beat you. He did it 2 weeks ago. Make him do it twice in 3 weeks. Bro, honestly, seems like a waste of time. I would most glizzies taste similar. And I don't know if it was who was blitzing last week, but Caleb looked very good against the blitz. I wonder what it feels like to tackle Scataboo. Like, I can remember what it felt like to hit Marshawn's body.
And it was like a brick wall.
It felt like he had heavy bones. What's the best game of the week, guys?
So many questions. I would say Dallas and Denver.
I think it is too.
Agreed.
I'm excited about this one. I really am. Calves, you excited about this one?
You know, well, I'm excited, but I'm also terrified, you know?
About to put Pat Surtain in a blender.
Oh, get the out of here. No, he's not. None of them are. You know who actually
Or maybe Riley Moss.
No,
even though he's been great this year.
Riley Moss is going to be no. It's going to shut down the outside.
But this is like the nightmare for corner number 2.
Jake Ferguson.
This is worse than Philly.
Jake Ferguson is going to be the go-to because he's got the matchup with Alex Singleton. Alex Singleton, while a great guy and a great football player, has not been great pass coverage this year. And, you know, with Drake Greenlaw being out.
Well, with Greenlaw deciding to run down the ref after the game, which is that's one of the wildest things I've seen. But I guess the ref had pushed.
Yeah. He pushed him.
How did he push him? Can you pull that up?
Yeah.
Just for my viewing purposes, because
he did one of those things. The same thing. I had a situation happen like that when I was rushing the field.
Had a ref call me a bitch,
and a guy leaving the UVA field. What? A ref called you a bitch?
Something like that.
Well, he called you a bitch, or
were you being a bitch?
He cussed at me. I don't remember what it was. I think it was bitch though.
Context matters sometimes.
What'd you do?
I told him it was a really I forget what I did.
And he said,
but it took me aback. It took me aback. I was like,
he's like,
really, bro?
He was like, don't be a bitch. That's what he said.
I don't remember, dude.
Were you like, you bitch? And he was like, bitch.
No, I don't remember. But I remember being shocked that the ref turned to me.
It wasn't Hockley, was it?
Nah. It wasn't Hockley. It wasn't one of those swole white boys. It was his brother.
So you see Brad Allen in the swarm here. See him, you know, your Broncos celebrating because, you know, you game-winning kick against the Giants, one of the best comebacks of all time. And and 40, he gives 40 a little shove there.
Where's Stranad?
Yeah.
Okay, where's the 4? 4-4-0. Okay, I got a 4-0.
It's
Comes
pretty
in
quick.
right there. Boom.
It's a one of these.
Run that back one more time.
Yeah, like, get out the way, ref.
Man, I can barely see that.
I don't know. That seemed, you know, someone in pads, he gives them a good shove.
It is a kind of a crazy shove.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy to be shoving guys.
And I mean, if you're Brad Allen, you're pissed off that the team you didn't want to win won, you know.
Nice, Cavs.
And I understand a little bit.
Well, it does. I did not know Stranad. I thought Stranad was white. Second guy this year, Cole Strange or Cole what the fuck is his name? Brendan Strange. Had him all twisted. Same thing with Stranad.
And if we're talking about Brad Allen, he also is the referee that was involved in the Lions reporting issue with Dan Skipper and Taylor Decker a couple years ago, 2023.
Oh, that's interesting.
And he was the referee with the Packers-Eagles playoff game last year with the fumble.
Brad Allen is from Lumberton, North Carolina.
We will talk about the Cowboys offense, but I just want to talk real quick about Sean Payton's play calling. Because that's something that's been a hot topic this week. In fact, last weekend, your boy Ben DiNucci of JMU fame, did you see this? Tweeted, "Is it time for Davis Webb to call plays in Denver?"
Oh, yeah. I
DiNucci served as Payton's third-string quarterback in 2023. That's had a little spice on that thing there, and Ben DiNucci.
And
a little spice in the pasta sauce
Sean Payton did say he's not giving up play calling duties this week.
He shouldn't, dude. Okay, I went back and watched the game again, okay? And a lot's being made of it. I think early in the game, obviously, you know, field position not great. 20, 15, 6-yard line. They come out, throw the ball 3 times in a row. Now, you talk about, like, your script and that sort of thing. Like, does it ever change? Well, it does change when you throw 2 straight incompletions. Then the third one's going to be a fucking pass as well, probably. So, and neither of them are nicely placed balls.
Right.
They got to be caught, probably. The second one's like a hospital ball to Cortland Sutton.
Yeah.
If you remember. So you get a punt there. In the next position, you get a high snap on P10. Like the first play of the possession, you get a high snap. Tight end misses a block. Ingram misses a block on a perimeter screen. We're going to talk about the screens in a second. But the screen's there. So, they failed to get it going. I thought a lot of guys early in the game took turns for Denver. Franklin whiffed on a perimeter screen. Sutton whiffs on a perimeter screen. Nix should pull the ball on a keeper at one point. There's just a bunch of little things that, to me, there was a man beater schemed up for 45 and he drops the ball. And so, when you're playing a Giants defense that I don't think the coordinator is a very good coordinator, but you think you're in a a lower scoring game. And I understand what Sean Payton's doing because I think people are blaming Sean Payton, but I think he's got a good quarterback, not a great quarterback. And I don't think the good quarterback has great weapons outside. And I think you talk about the red zone, we'll get there in a second, they lack a really big back down there. It's just a flawed offense from a personnel standpoint. And most people know that, I think, but they get lulled into this sense that, Denver should be 7-0 and they should be scoring 35 points a game. I did not see an issue really with the early game play calling. You saw on tape, I'm sure he saw on tape leading up, Giants secondary takes bad angles in pursuit. You can screen these guys. You can get them in space and make plays. And honestly, because of what I just described, that is a way to get things going. So I didn't have an issue with that. I need the guys outside to block better. I need everybody to be on their details. They've run 47 screenplays this year, most in the NFL. Nix has attempted 45 passes on those screens. So 2, I guess they didn't get them off or whatever. They got 5 drops. They threw 11 screens in that game. Guys aren't blocking. Guys aren't executing. And he's got it drawn up. You remember a couple weeks ago I said this about Bo Nix? I said, Sean's got open receivers schemed up. And he goes there with the ball, but his accuracy has been a little bit off.
Now, with 11 screens, is that, as a defense, do you want that many screens? You're on the defense, do you like that, or is that
if
way
I'm
too many?
No, if I'm on defense,
I
hate it. I'm a defensive lineman.
Yeah,
I don't want to, and that's why that's in the game plan because that defensive line's scary. Okay,
slows you down, and it slows you down.
It slows the rushers down, the whole thing. And on one of them, they fake a toss and roll out, and Brian Burns just burps him he didn't even bite on it at all. But I look at the offense. I guess what I'm saying is, what the fuck do you want Sean Payton to do? Sometimes I agree in the red zone. Okay, I do have an issue with the red zone plays. They run lead down to the 2-yard line. They run a trick play, try to throw the ball to Garrett Bowles. Roy Robertson Harris runs right by 63. That's a problem.
Yeah,
it's a fucking cute call, but it's also there.
Yeah.
And then they sprint right, and they get lucky on the next trip down off the deflection. Where's the run game in the fucking red zone?
Right.
Giants are 31st in the league in EPA fitting runs up in goal-to-go situations. So that's the part of the game plan for me. I understand that with Bo Nix and your offense, when you're backed up in what you perceive to be a lower scoring game, it's about possessions. It's about not turning the ball over. You're going to be conservative early. And I thought he got less conservative once you cross the 50-yard line.
Yeah.
I just don't think, I can't believe people are asking for him to give up play calling.
That's wild. It is wild. And if you've watched the Broncos all season, you'll know that, just as you said, there are people open and Bo Nix is going into the right places at the right times. It's the accuracy. There are a few times when, against the Jets, on 3rd and 10, when we call a fullback dive.
No question.
And
could
also
speak to his lack of confidence in the personnel on the field.
Correct.
Including the quarterback.
That's what I'm bringing up.
Screen game helps hide the
quarterback deficiencies.
Yep.
And there's nothing wrong with Bo Nix. As far as we're insinuating that there is something wrong, but there's a lot right with him too. There's a lot right with him. I think he allows you to do some really great things, like some of the design quarterback run stuff they did on 4th down or on the touchdown late. You like that stuff. You really like it. I saw him come back to some concepts and pair them with second iterations late in the game. I see him calling a game. I think they're flawed in a couple ways. Number one, I think they lack a big back. I don't think they have dynamic guys outside. Your number one's Cortland Sutton, who's a very, very, very good player. But who's your dependent. Now, Mims is a gadget guy and a short area quickness guy, but I don't trust Franklin all the time.
3 catches on 10 targets against the Giants.
They've struggled to get Ingram going at times.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I need the guys to block better if you're going to run that many screens.
Well, and you've seen...
I think they're buyers at the deadline for somebody.
Yeah, I would agree.
It could be worth it.
And it is, like, we gave away Devon Vele early in the season and traded him out to the Saints, or right before the season. He was, last year, Bo Nix's best or favorite target. You saw him go to him late downs, and when you needed, and he knew exactly where the sticks were. Also, he was a great run blocker on the perimeter. But you with Evan Ingram,
they missed that.
Yeah, big time. Like Pat Bryant's a great block. He's thrown some great blocks this season. He's a rookie, but also every time he comes out, the defense knows, since we haven't thrown to him enough, that hey, it's we're running a screen or it's going to be a run.
Yeah, he becomes the guy that when we're on defense and we see like 14s in the game, or I'm just picking.
It minimizes the possibilities.
Everybody knows the gadget guy's in, or
Taysom Hill.
Yeah, and
that's an extreme.
But the last 3 games when we've started our comebacks and we started to get serious, we've gone to Evan Ingram and we started to run the ball, and it even goes back to last year, the Cincinnati Bengals game, where it was sluggish in the first half. It was a shitty first half. The second half, we go out and we run 6 straight runs and we get right down the field with Julio McLaughlin.
Yeah.
Like, and Sean even writes it on his play sheet: run the ball, run the ball, run the ball.
Well, this is the week.
Yeah.
This is the week. Get back on track, run the football, get the doubles down on the inside guys. Fucking smash mouth.
Yeah.
And you mentioned it. Both teams, honestly, a lot worse. Dallas's linebackers, even, as much you were talking about Singleton. So, like, you're going to want to get the ball to Ingram and those guys in the middle of the field. And, like, did our old UVA running back, Harvey, did he get a lot of touches the other day?
He's gotten a little bit. He caught a touchdown.
Did we get a lot of touches that game?
Yeah, like
4 carries.
4 carries and
I'm going to need a couple more touches for him.
Yep.
So anyways, like, I think you work the middle of the field. Dallas has quietly done a really good job of pressuring the quarterback this month. And part of that might be game script, what have you. They have turned the dial up on blitz, 33% this month, 47% pressure rate in October. I mean, Jerry is feeling like, maybe I'm not so stupid, especially if he goes and gets somebody like a fucking Max Crosby, which has been talked about, but supposedly Max is like, nah, I'm good. Or the Raiders are like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, which in the moment he has to say, I feel like, just so you don't really have any maybe secret animosity in the locker room for guys to kind of be like, well, like you're trying to jump ship, like you like.
Well, it's not really. I mean, like, he's not asking for a trade. Usually players don't say anything personally, like, unless they start doing the game where they follow people from the other team, or like the whole follow unfollow thing, like whatever. But I think if I had to guess, if there was a reason that Max wanted to stay there, he's just a sadistically loyal person, and he wants to be a Raider for life. Otherwise, like, I don't see his prime. And I'm talking about like the prime. Even when he's not in his prime, he's going to be a fucking like a borderline blue chip player. But I'm talking about like this version of Max Crosby, hell on wheels. Like, how many years does that last? As hard as he plays, what he gives to the game in the run, in the pass, as hard as he plays, as little as he wants to take off. I was with him this offseason. I'm always telling him whenever I see him, not that like me and him are like close friends, but I'm like, Max, bro, like, I fucking tried to play every play when I was young in the league, and my legs fell out from under me. Now, you're the condor. You're a lot, like you got some talents but if you push too hard, like, are you going to be the same guy when they turn it around? Because I don't know how close they are. That's the scary part for me. If you're looking at, so, whether or not he wants to get dealt, whether or not the Raiders are willing to deal him, the Cowboys, as we know, have draft capital. They should make a move for a rusher. I really, even with this increased pressure rate, the increased blitz rate.
If not Max, who would you be going to next? Obviously, Myles Garrett. Obviously, Myles Garrett's and Max has to be the top of the list. But if you're like, if it was a sneaky, like, no one's really maybe thinking about, like, who would you try to throw a bag at to be like, hey, let's see if they'll bite.
Let me pull up my my score app to just look at teams, because half the time I forget. I mean, really, there's not that many guys.
Yeah.
There's the Miami fire sale guys like Bradley Chubb, like
Parsons in Green Bay.
Yeah. Well, the thing about the Parsons thing is he did say outright, I want to play the run better, which to me is he's just saying whatever the fuck he has to say at that moment.
Yeah.
But I think a Myles Garrett or a Max Crosby, it's a step up in the run game.
Yes.
You know, now you're probably not going to go try to get a blue chip guy like that. But the Giants in division, if you weren't in division with them, I think like Thibodeau or something like that would be a perfect move.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not trying to break the bank.
Not gonna lie.
The Dolphins, we talked about Chubb.
I know guys, people don't want to hear, but we got two decent ends down in Jacksonville that can shop. Yeah, I don't know.
One of them's off the field, the other one looks non-existent.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the issue.
You want to keep them together.
You've got Kenny Clark,
Super Bowl contender.
And
but what we're gonna get back? That's what I mean.
Odigizua. Is Jeffrey Simmons versatile enough to be on that line or nah?
If you wanted to put Jeffrey Simmons on that line, you figure out a way.
Because he may be available.
You figure out a way. If it's Kenny Clark off the field on third down, then he's off the field on third down. If you got Jeffrey Simmons and you got Odigizua, who's pressured the quarterback this year, he's a good pass rusher. Then you put like Clowney outside with James Houston or Fowler or one of these guys. Like they're kind of a deep group, but they don't have like an ace. And maybe you invest in an ace in the middle of the defense.
Yep.
That's a good question. I don't know. But as for this game, here's one thing that's really exciting for Dallas. And another reason that I think you absolutely should make moves like you are a contender. Because Overshown is one of the best young defensive football players I have seen play since I left the league. Now, I've been out of the league 8 years, almost. He is on a short list of guys that when they got in the league, I was like, holy shit, that guy's got a chance to be like special. And you know who else I said that about offensively? And he's on the Cowboys as well, George Pickens. And I took a lot of shit for it when he was acting the way he was acting in Pittsburgh. But imagine that, having a real number one opposite you and a quarterback that can get you the ball. Most importantly, he looks like a Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
he looks like he's got that ability. I think people are coming on.
He's really, really good. And I can't wait because someone on that defense, Reed, is going to have a long night, and they're going to have to deal with Pickens. They're going to have to deal with his taunting and his trash talk, which I love. And he's a guy that it's funny seeing him trash talk and do his antics, but he backs it up on the field. And like, honestly,
he does.
If he's not like, if you're not taking excessive and trying to hurt guys or do anything like too much, I'm all for it, because as a guy who loves a team that you see so many drop passes, and then I see someone like George Pickens climbing the ladder to make catches, like running through.
Oh, yeah, he's a Coach Collins' dream.
Oh my goodness,
he's going to catch the balls you're not even supposed to catch.
You're not supposed to catch, because when you're
they can't catch the ball.
Exactly, because when you're a top receiver, just throw it in my radius, and if I can get my hands on it, I'm gonna come down with it, and he's that type of guy.
Nate, Riley Moss ain't scared.
Yeah, no, Riley Moss shouldn't be scared.
He ain't scared.
This is a really big test for him.
Yeah.
And you know, like as we've seen, like people have beat man coverage when you played Denver. Like Denver's amazing defensively, right? Because of the coverage and the rush and all that. But like they can be beat. We've seen guys get open against them even when they manned up. Like, so this is going to be a game that I think the challenge is going to be if Javonte Williams, revenge game, if they're able to play a two-dimensional game, meaning run and pass, and they start moving the ball on Denver, which I anticipate they're going to score some points, can Denver's offense keep up, especially considering they're going to do it with the run game? Like Denver's going to have to run the football. They're going to have to move the ball down the field, avoid the turnovers, sustain long drives. Like Dallas can strike quick, even against this defense. So I don't know, man. This is going to be a really tough test for Denver. And Dallas played a lot of man last week. So I saw that in the doc, and you know, I've read that places. But like, I don't know if that's going to be a thing they do more going forward. I think they were playing Washington, who was down two of their top guys, and you can get away with a little bit more. I kind of wonder though if they think Denver's not much better outside.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's kind of what we got into talking about earlier.
to add to that, I think that's part of it, Chris, and also just a counterpoint to whether they'll continue to do it moving forward. They were down Diggs last week, and they still played as much man as they did.
That's right.
That could be part of that identity change for them in the back end.
No question.
The 2-5 New York Giants just put 32 points on them in a rookie quarterback's fourth start. Buckle up.
Combine these two units, Denver's defense, Dallas's offense, they'd win the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Cows, would you rather Sean Payton have Bo Nix or Jackson Dart as his quarterback of the future?
Bo Nix.
You're an idiot.
We went to the playoffs last year. What do you mean?
We're continuing with the lying.
Last week, what did Jackson Dart do? Touchdown on a wide open play, touchdown on a deflection, lucky deflection, and then a touchdown drive, lunging, rushing touchdown that he should have thrown 2 interceptions, and got bailed out by old Brad Allen. Phew.
Yeah, but he's got the it factor, the intangible it factor.
Yeah, if you're looking for a guy who throws paint on his face, that's fine. You don't like Bo Nix, the same guy, same it factor.
Bo Nix mid quarterback. Jackson Dart has juice. He's got the chain, he's got the face paint. And y'all keep talking about Denver receivers running wide open, and the Denver quarterback can't seem to hit him.
But he knows where to go with the ball. Man, I trust my guy.
Yeah.
He
might hit him eventually.
Might have it between the ears, just doesn't have it like outside the shoulders.
Yeah, well,
neck.
Hey, good win against the Eagles. Congrats.
Appreciate that, bud.
Make the playoffs, and then we'll see.
Buddy, we're on tankathon.com, pal. We're not trying to win these games, as evidenced by last week. All right? We're just showing you glimpses. This is about the future.
Future.
Who
50% quarterback.
will we be taking for?
I got you.
Are you guys Spider-Man memeing right now?
With the 5th overall pick, the New York Giants select Caden Proctor, tackle, Alabama.
Nice. Tanking.
Okay. I can't.
No, it'll be a bunch
Never
of boos.
before gone wrong with a tackle from Alabama.
New York fans. New York fans. There'll be a bunch of TikTok videos being like, "Who? Boo! Boo!" You know how it goes.
Show you where to stick this Proctor, huh? Right in the playoffs next year.
Give me the working theory.
For Reed, I wanted to try on with Bo Nix. I wanted to see what Reed's take on it was.
Retirement.
Not quite retirement, but Chris, during the AFC North preview this summer, you were talking about the Bengals, the 2024 Bengals, and you talked about them as the ADHD Bengals, where they needed kind of a crisis situation to be able to focus.
Yes.
I'm wondering if maybe Bo Nix is the ADHD QB.
He could be.
Where he needs kind of a crisis situation to put his best stuff on tape. We talk all about these fourth quarter performances, but the first 3 quarters, where are we at there? I don't know. What do you think, Reed?
100%. He needs a crisis. I mean, you've looked the last freaking three weeks.
Or does he need off coverage?
No, it's a crisis thing. He wants the pressure. Give him the pressure. He's like, hey, the NFL hasn't seen a 33-point outburst in the fourth quarter. Let me give you one. For
the record, he's not a quarterback that makes my skin crawl or anything like that. Like you know who those are. No. He's not that guy. Like he's fine.
Yeah.
And actually I kind of I could see if I was in that locker room why I'd respect him and really like him. And I see why Sean likes him, because he can take it and give it back to Sean. That's the way Sean likes it with a quarterback. Mm-hmm. But he leaves a lot to be desired, at least so far in his young career.
Hey,
as far as the details and consistency.
He's going to surprise the motherfuckers on Sunday. Motherfuckers going to get surprised.
Motherfuckers going to get surprised. Surprise, surprise, motherfucker. The second best game on the weekend is, I think it's Sunday night.
Go Pack, go!
I think it's Packers Steelers. I think
revenge, not revenge game.
Go Pack, go!
Yep. Tomlin off a bye at home as a dog, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
No way, Tomlin.
Need to read all that.
Biggest thing we're against the Steelers in this one, they got to overcome these shit uniforms.
Oh, come on! I like these jerseys, man.
Is this the stripe ones?
I like these jerseys. Pull them up.
The jailhouse ones.
No, they're not like the jailhouse ones. They're not like the "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou's."
the Bumblebees?
No.
These are on the. This is Mount Rushmore of worst uniforms
That's
of all
a crazy
time.
Why do I feel
dude.
like I'm
That's
gonna
an
love
insane
it
take.
now because Nolan?
I sent you the.
no doubt
I sent
about
you
it.
this. I love these.
Oh yeah.
People have a problem with the nude pants. I don't care, dude.
Those are called
like if
khakis.
you can't tell that the guy's not naked, like
I wear those every
that's a
day.
you problem. I think the only problem here is
Some Lulu khakis.
Mm-hmm.
the yellow helmet, bro.
It looks too much like the Illinois. Like, didn't Illinois do
Illinois
this?
has done this,
Like just different color.
but I think it's dope. And then I know I'm in the minority, but like you can't put these up there in an echelon of uniforms with the. No offense to the Swedish population in Philly, but like the Sweden Eagles jerseys. You remember those?
Bad, terrible.
The 5X these. How could you? How they're not even close.
Right in the same neighborhood.
No chance, dude. If I was an Atlanta Falcons fan, I'd say, yeah, do that. Get rid of what we have right now for that.
I think what the Steelers are wearing is better than what the Packers are wearing, which are the white cheddars with the white helmet that doesn't make any sense.
It's those are the most overrated.
White on white is bad.
With
for the
white
Packers,
helmet.
You don't have to like
That one. There's no yellow on that
that's
helmet.
Goofy.
Color-
It's goofy.
color
It's goofy.
rush.
That's
It's-
goofy.
That'd be great with the
Wait,
normal helmet.
that's
the yellow
goofy.
helmet. It'd be fine.
And look at Micah Parsons' tiny little number one.
But I
Hasn't
know.
hit his growth spurt yet.
But what's like? Why? What?
You need-
Explain to me why you're saying it's goofy.
the helmet
It's
needs
goofy
yellow.
because the helmet has no yellow. He's exactly right.
There was yellow down the middle. All the
Not
stripes
to
would
mention
be
the
symmetrical.
greens are different on the jersey, and that could be a Photoshop issue.
Okay, so
No, that's
if,
the Commanders game.
if
What
the
the fuck is
stripe-
going on with these?
So if the stripe down the middle had yellow in it,
We're fine.
it'd be fine.
Yeah.
But because it doesn't, it just doesn't work
Doesn't
for
work.
you guys.
It should be mentioned that the Broncos are wearing the sick uniforms this weekend.
Are they wearing the sick uniforms?
Yeah. The
Throwy backies,
Goodness
So-
gracious over the birds.
Ugh.
which was a total miss 2 weeks ago, but that's the last time we'll say it.
Yep.
Ooh.
Big time.
Green Bay's having a hard time running the football. That's what I see. I mean, over the last couple weeks, at least last week, watching them try to run the football, the guards were getting fucking dominated out there. So, that to me is where I'm going to start watching the game. Like, is if they can control the line of scrimmage, absolutely love Green Bay in this spot, but that's not a sure thing the way they have played in the middle. Now, you can slow the rushers down with the screen game. You can slow the rushers down with play action shots. You can slow the rushers down by running outside zone, getting in 12 personnel. That is something that the Steelers have struggled with. Multiple tight ends in the field, perimeter runs. And there's a lot you can do off that just to try to fuck with TJ Watt, slow him down, bank on his aggressiveness, because he's going to knife in there and try to make the play on backside. We saw Seattle do it a little bit with them. You got to be careful. You're kind of playing. You're on like a knife's edge with that thing, but like you really can. You really can come up with some explosives, getting these edges to be aggressive. I think Green Bay. I don't think I know Jaden Reed has missed. I watched them and I say Jaden Reed's missed a lot. Just watching the flow of this offense. The short area quickness guy, the gadget guy. They've started to make Golden a little bit more of that guy, and he's got the incredible top end speed. But like Jaden Reed underneath was such a kind of like, and it was funny this offseason, he got kind of butthurt that they drafted Golden, but like to me, he's still an integral part of this offense, and you see it with him out. Now he'll be back at some point. It was a collarbone. He did the same thing.
It sounds like sometime in November, I think they'll get him back.
They'll be happy to get him back. But I do think this is a 12 personnel game. I think you got to have tight ends on the field, and you got to establish the run, especially going on the road and playing the Steelers and that sort of thing. And Green Bay secondary needs to tackle. 22 catches on the year for DK Metcalf. I don't know if that's a misprint, but they got to get him the football more, and a game like this would be one where I would expect to see him get the ball more underneath. I think the tight ends will be busy. I'm not saying he can't go to the tight ends. I know he likes going to the tight ends, but you think about like having to account for Micah Parsons. It kind of starts there. I'm not saying that you can't get tight ends out in the route, but like akin to the way, Cade Otton would get the dump downs the other night. But like they weren't scheming Cade Otton touches up because, tight ends are in there trying to take care of Aiden Hutchinson. And so like everything you have to do to make sure that these tackles who will struggle are supported, it's going to take away from guys out in the route. So like, and that's good news for Green Bay's corners, because it's something we've talked about all year. Not a great group of corners, and Nate Hobbs, who had an injury in preseason, actually had surgery on his knee in preseason, I believe, has not been the guy that they brought in and paid a lot of money. And, you know, the conundrum there is Hobbs played in the slot in Vegas, and, you know, they bring him in to play corner. He'd probably be better suited in the slot, but Bullard's been playing really well in there. And Evan Williams is a real good player. So, like, you really don't want to disrupt that whole thing. I think maybe Valentine gets a look soon. He's played some this year, but none of them have looked great. So, like, this is a game where the corners could use the help. The rush has to get home.
As a rusher, when you're preparing to play someone like Aaron Rodgers who gets the ball out as quick as he does,
frustrating.
How would you, as like a DN or someone like Micah Parsons, how would you adjust your rush this week?
More of a tilt track, and by that I mean, you know, we'd have a speed track, which, you know, you vary within a game. They don't call like, hey, tilt track, speed track, but like for the people at home, you know, it's there's certain guys that you will tilt your nose in directly to the offensive tackle and rush that guy that way, and it could be because of the way he sets. You're trying to control his set, right? Like a deep setter, I'm going to tilt track on that dude and go through his inside shoulder, right? You know, if somebody's an oversetter, I might try to bait him out and, you know, speed rush and come up and under, but like, it depends on the set. Now, with the quarterback speeding up, you definitely can't be doing the run the hoop thing all game long. Yep. You got to save those rushes for 3rd and 12 and 3rd and 13. And that's why stopping the run, which I think they'll be able to do, is going to be the key in getting a longer third and longer down in distances. And then at that point, it's, you know, picking your spots. You know, the worst used to be like you play a quick game team and be dogging the tackle, like beating them on, you know, I was the worst because like I would try to win every rush. Like I would throw my best stuff out there on like 1st and 2nd down. And you watch some guys rush and like they'll save their best rushes. So like I'd win like really clean on a 2nd down rush and the ball's out. That's the kind of thing you have to be cognizant of in a game like this, is like, fuck, dude, they're just going to be he's going to be throwing BBs if he can.
Facts.
So you got to save your best rushes. And Wyatt practiced this week, which is a big deal. Devontae Wyatt is a stud. I think he's one of the best players on the defense. He got hurt in the Dallas game. And Colby Wooden's played well. You can also figure to see some screen game. I think you're going to see a lot of screen game. You got to have an answer for the quick game. I think one answer is if they condense their formations. And I know Green Bay's calling card is not to bring pressure, but like it's a 41-year-old quarterback, a couple slot blitz mixed in, a couple like A-gap blitz mixed in. Like, you know, catch him booting out or something, give him a little kiss.
Yep.
Like I would bring some pressure. I would. Now behind it, you got to tackle. And this is what we've seen. DK can turn like a 5 yards like gain into 80.
Yeah.
So
Green Bay down 13-6 at halftime last week against Arizona. Sleepy win against Cincy. The tie against Dallas. You think it's all related to?
Well, I think sometimes it's the details for them. The run game definitely helps, being able to run the football. You know, and Josh Jacobs is the perfect back for an offensive line that's just not that physical. Like you watch him play, they're just not that physical. He's a really physical back. So he's going to break some tackles. But to answer your question, I think you go game by game. It's like, you know, I think Arizona's a good football team, especially defensively. And, you know, like it's not surprising to me that they were in a bit of a rock fight early. They come up with a win there. They also they flew in like at midnight or something like that. Like people were saying, oh, I'm going to bet the Cardinals after seeing the Packers flight logs and that sort of thing. I also think the Cleveland game, when we talked about this, came down to one bad decision, in my opinion. And it was a bad mistake by Jordan Love. Otherwise, they're going to win that low-scoring game. And also, when Golden makes a play on the right sideline, turn it into 6. Don't run out of bounds. Like little details like that just stick in my head where I'm like, you should be winning this game 20-7, right? And nobody blinks. The Cowboys game, they dealt with a nightmare matchup. And I don't think much changes about that because of the way their corners play. So like, hey, if they play a team that's got dynamic number 1, number 2, some other pieces, like they will have trouble from time to time. But if you only have one real good receiver, you know, if you're one of those teams, like, I don't feel like Green Bay's defense has a ton of trouble with you.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep. In the last few weeks, it's been Flacco, Dak, Flacco, Brissett. Now Rodgers for the Green Bay defense. Flacco, two different teams.
Oh, two Flaccos. Yeah, you get two Flaccos. And that's another thing. Flacco got a second look at him. He's a pretty smart guy.
He is.
You know what I'm saying? So, no, I mean, like, listen, Green Bay, I think they're going to be a lot better than they are now by the end of the season. You know, they started out looking like a fucking juggernaut because they beat up on Detroit. I still think they match up pretty well against Detroit. They need to get Jaden Reed back. They need to stabilize things on the offensive line, and just get back to running the football. Hey, Reed, will you pull that thing up from Dallas, the Dallas picture I wanted to? Joe Bonham is the Instagram. Bonham is the Instagram account, and it's probably private with my luck, but he had like 70,000 likes on this video. That is the vantage point of a fan in the East end zone.
But that's an advantage for the Cowboys, right?
I don't think it's an advantage for anybody. Like, how do you track a ball like with that?
CD before has said he can't see the ball.
No, the Cowboys receivers. There was a game last year where guys were like missing balls, and they're like, "What the fuck?"
Hey, not
Can
a
you
problem
imagine
for George.
buying these seats?
Not a problem for George Pickens.
Can you imagine there's dudes with sunglasses on? Can't even see it.
I'm not even gonna lie. There's a few stadiums that are like that. I think maybe at the Commanders Stadium, there's like tickets that StubHub, it gives you a supposed view of where you're buying your ticket, and then you buy a ticket and there's a huge pillar.
Crack house.
No, a pillar.
Oh.
A big pillar in front of your seat that's not in.
Oh no.
That's not in the picture of the view.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and it like makes it says on the ticket like some of your view might be obstructed.
That's crazy.
And you think that it's like the pole and the railing in front of you, like that's the thing that's going to be obstructing.
It's a big fucking.
It's a huge pillar,
That's
and there's
crazy.
seats all around it. So anyone in those seats, you're thinking that you got a decent deal, and it's like, no, you can't even see the game.
How about they're selling that seat?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Wow, obstructed view alert.
Yeah.
This is a Twitter
tour.
account. Yeah, so they have people that send in obstructed views from football stadiums, basketball stadiums, etc. But there's NFL, like UVA was on it once for the seats right below the press box. But they're tremendous. It's an amazing account.
Unreal. That's unreal.
Imagine buying.
Like, why are you still here? Why are you still at the game?
Like, what are you supposed to do?
Leave.
You just leave?
Leave. Like, there's no recourse. Chalk it up as a loss, man. Sunk cost fallacy. You feel me?
So you would see that and be like, yo, there's no way these are the fucking seats. And
I'd
you would
fucking leave, dude. I'd leave. And I wouldn't be like, I'd be
like,
hey, that's my fault.
What if you got your kids? You just be like, hey, we got to go. Like,
well, then that's my fault.
Yeah.
Then I'm not doing my job.
Yo, this is great. When Jason Garrett coached the Cowboys from 2010 to 19, he says he was prepped on the Suns' movement by then Cowboys football operations director Bruce Mays, who showed him pictures of the Sun each week. Coach, I got
a picture of the Sun
today.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, man.
Yeah. Also, like checking the forecast all fucking week to see if, for God's sake, is it overcast? Like, our game plan changes.
Apparently, before daylight savings, bettors pay very close attention to the coin toss in Dallas games played at home.
Stop it.
Very
for
smart.
betting in game.
I love it.
Of who's going to have the ball going which direction in the fourth quarter.
Can we figure that out?
Yeah, we can figure that out.
All right.
Next
I love it.
week.
Yeah, whenever.
But to what you were saying before, another reason why I like Pickens is you see that last play, he caught that bomb looking right into the sun.
Right in the sun.
Right into the sun.
He looks like the type of guy that could stare directly at
I love it. I love it. I bet you he could. The way he was staring at that TV on draft night, I could see him doing that right to the sun and being like, this doesn't
like,
faze
nope,
me.
Doesn't bother me.
Like,
don't know why.
I'm training my eyes.
Doesn't bother me.
I'm training my eyes.
He doesn't need his eyes to make a catch, dude. He's like he could be Stevie Wonder and he'd probably still get 1,000 yards because he's the king of the late hands, bro.
But he's smart too. He has the He has the
eyes in the back of his head.
He has a tinted out visor too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's smart. That is smart. Everybody on Dallas should play with a 10 advisor.
Probably.
You know how dudes used to be like, what do I have to do to get
polarized?
That?
Polarized.
Like, you got to have like concussions or like cataracts or something. And I was like, man, not worth it. You know, plus, wouldn't look that cool. But like
the rainbow ones were cool. They used to be real. The mirror ones.
But you could probably get an exemption if you play in that stadium.
I would think so.
And I want to shout out BetMGM. This football season, BetMGM wants to give you another chance at first touchdown scorers. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back in cash if your first touchdown scorer scores second instead. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. That's what it says in the ad read. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. Be sure to take advantage of this offer, and if you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code GREENLIGHT, and you will get up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager with BetMGM. BetMGM, make it legendary. Baltimore, listen, we got to start with Baltimore because the Ravens have removed items from their locker room this week, which is signaling to me a do or die tone in the building.
Yeah.
And Marlon Humphrey had this to say this week on Twitter. Should I do a glizzy taste test tour around the country one day? 50 states, 50 glizzies.
Man.
That's what my dog Marlon Humphrey
this
week.
The internet was going crazy with that because
he's trolling.
Glizzies could mean so many different things.
No, I understand, but like just to be tweeting about hot dogs when you're 1-5, like I'm not one that thinks that players shouldn't be able to talk about.
But you know why though? I think he did it.
Why?
It's because they're playing Chicago, and
thing.
Chicago's known for hot dogs.
Good luck explaining that to most people who are probably Ravens fans and upset that they're like, "What are you doing, bro? How are you not watching film right now? Why are you thinking about glizzies? Like the guy's not supposed to eat."
Yeah, but thinking about
1-5 or whatever they are. What is their record?
1-5.
Jesus,
bro. Thinking about going to 50 states to try glizzies is kind of like crazy because like most. Like obvious,
that's
like
stupid. Most are going to taste the same.
But most of the time, they're probably going to be coming from packages from the grocery store. It's not like they're making fresh.
It's a really silly. It's a really. You know what? I'm going to tweet back at him right now
because it's like, yo, it's like if the people
like,
selling.
Bro, I don't think it's a good idea because.
Like what happens if they all the stores you go to are cooking Nathan's hot dogs and you're going to go 50 states to try Nathan's hot dogs?
Bro, honestly seems like a waste of time. I would think most glizzies IES taste similar
from state to state. I rolled dolo from state to state.
All right, I tweeted.
Trying glizzies.
Bro, honestly, seems like a waste of time. I would think most glizzies taste similar. I just want to amplify that tweet.
They're going to kill your tweet. You got to pause that.
I don't give a shit.
Glizzies taste similar, Chris?
I don't care. Fuck, dude, you know?
Oh man, not what you want to see as a Ravens fan right now.
I just think it's hilarious. I don't even like tweeting anymore. I did that for the pod.
Could you imagine AJ Brown tweeting? But I want to go to 50 states and try cheesesteaks.
Oh, people would take that. People would be you couldn't do it with cheesesteaks because they'd be pissed. But anything but like book quotes at this point, right? Like anything but like his using me but not using me.
Oh my goodness. I tweeted that.
Golly,
I tweeted that to the group chat right away. And that's the thing I'm saying, bro. It's just like I love AJ Brown. You're an amazing player. But the fact that it's just like he looks at some of these tweets or these quotes and it's like, yo, this is perfect. This is just enough that everyone can be riled up over nothing, and or I really feel this way, but I can twist it once everyone gets mad.
I don't know what his motivation is.
I think it's that. Like, it's weird, but I don't know.
But whatever. It's all good. Whatever you got to do, bro, whatever you got to do, just catch the ball like you did. I mean, you know, be AJ Brown, which he is.
Using me.
But not using me. Like if in a marriage, those posts, like, there's like a, hey, you got a minute? Like, are you okay? Like, Are we okay? Like, kind of thing. All right. So anyways, let's talk about the Ravens game, because as I mentioned, they have removed some of the things from the locker room. This is very important. They removed the
Cooper Rush.
They removed Cooper Rush. they removed Cooper Rush in the ping pong table. So they removed the ping pong table, but that reminded me of when in 2022 when the Dolphins removed the ping It's tried and true.
They go on a run?
2022. It's the Dolphins. Dolphins removed the ping pong table ahead of their Vikings game in October, coming off a 40-7 loss to the Jets. This was 2 games after Tua got a concussion playing the Bengals. Everybody remembers that game.
Mm-hmm.
Bengals in all white that night. And then McDaniels beamed with pride. That's leadership. Like, that's guys doing something, not talking about it. They're doing something, right? That's what McDaniels said. And then later in the week, Tyreek Hill said, the real reason the ping pong table's out of the Fins locker room is he's working on getting a new custom designed Dolphins table to replace it. He said the old one had gotten bent. Chef's kiss. Miami Dolphins, bro. They were like, yeah, Mike, did you hear they removed the ping pong table? He was like, oh, fuck yeah. I didn't like how much ping pong they were playing. Like, that's leadership. Tyreek's like, nah.
They then
We're
lost
getting a new one
to the Vikings.
They lost to the Vikings.
Yes.
Okay. Also, worth noting that in 2017, I found this out. The Bills decided to remove their ping pong tables and draft Josh Allen. That was also a good move. Sean McDermott came in town. He said, "We're doing 2 things. We're going to draft a Hall of Fame caliber quarterback." Caliber, I said. I know he has to win.
So if we had to take a ping pong table. And you
here?
Yeah, if we had one here,
we had a bad show,
and you removed it, you think the views just go through the roof? They skyrocket?
I don't know, but bro, I can't play ping pong. Did you know that?
You can't?
I'm not good at it.
Oh,
yeah.
But you
know what I can't do?
I was just about to say, aren't you good at pickleball?
I'm pretty good.
It's just like ping pong, right?
I beat my son. Can we clip that?
No, yeah.
Can we clip that? Can we clip that? Why'd you say it so fast? What are you good at? You just said,
what am I good at?
You was just like, you know what I am good at?
Well, no, what I'm not good at is I have been trying for the life of me to learn how to floss, not teeth. But you know the dance? I can't floss.
It's a kid's thing.
I know. My kids do it really good.
Our shoulders are past the prime of being able to do that. I think so.
Can you do it?
No.
Can you do it?
I don't know what it looks. I don't.
Show him what it is.
Oh.
I can't do it.
The little white kid who looks like you got famous
tie
for
my
it.
Shoulders and
the flossing kid.
Yeah, that's right. He does favor Macon. All right, so anyways, all this stuff, man. We used to shoot pool and do activism in the Eagles locker room. We still want to ship. Talk about like a real like fucking unicorn of a team, huh? I used to play pool until like 8 o'clock at night with Rasul Douglas, dude, or JP. Oh, JP be like, "You got me now, Long," and then he just hit the 8-ball in from like some impossible angle. He was like a pool shark. But you got to have games in the building. It doesn't make a difference.
Hell yeah.
I heard they're not even playing ping pong that much, and supposedly Harbaugh isn't the one who removed it; it's the player.
Oh, speaking of Ravens, and
Harbaugh also said, "I don't know what they did with my." He said he gave him like a pinball machine, and he's like, "That's gone too," and I don't know where. What were you gonna say? Speaking of Ravens,
and pool, I'm randomly playing pool with my girl at a local bar here, Rapture. And I go to get a drink, and there's a group of people looking over, like drinking near our table. And when I go to get a drink, unbeknownst to me, my girl is cheating and moving balls slightly, and a spectator, a big white burly guy. He calls my girl out and was like, hey, don't do that. We all thought it was funny because he was just random. Come to find out, it's Ravens. It's Ravens center.
Tyler Linderbaum.
Linderbaum.
So Linderbaum called your girl out?
Called her out for cheating because I turned my back to go to drink.
You said you saw him,
yep.
But like did you talk to him?
No, we talked after, and it was just hilarious.
Don't on the pod?
No, I didn't. We didn't get that far.
But like,
yeah,
we didn't turn it around.
He was saying that he was here, and
did you ask him why he looks like Burford?
Not to put his stuff on blast, but I guess he's getting married out here later after the season, and he was here with his fiance.
How big was he?
He's huge.
That's what I told people. He's a fucking
huge.
and his head's like this big.
He's like a tank. He's like a tank. He's probably what, like 6'4", I think.
6'2", 305.
Oh, so we are the same height. I thought he felt like he was
packaged a little different.
Yeah, he felt like he was a little taller than me, but he's definitely solid. Solid dude.
Shout out to Linderbaum.
Hell yeah.
Well, cool okay, dude. So if you're Baltimore in this game, in my opinion, you are aggressive early in the game. You get Lamar back. I think you're gonna have an infusion of Hamilton's good. Roquan Smith's back. This is a do or die thing, and you're off a bye, right? You're playing the game at home. Yeah, game's in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be aggressive. You need to take the lead. The one thing the Bears have going on right now is that run game the last couple weeks. And I don't know if it's all Theo Benedette, like they made a change at left tackle, like part of it's the teams they played maybe, but they have improved. Okay, they have improved. You don't want to get in a situation where it sounds funny to say this, the Bears have a lead on you and they're running the football. As bad as you've been defensively this year, you want to play this game from out in front. And there are explosives to hunt against the Bears secondary. And so, like, to me, Lamar, welcome back. Fucking, we're going to run the football, but we're also going to take some shots. We're going to take some shots early and see if we can't get up in this game. They have to be crisp early. And Ben Johnson talked about this week. His team's been, behind the sticks because of some penalties. Well, Baltimore's met their match. Like, Baltimore has been, chronically sloppy. Penalties have been an issue for the Bears. Like, whichever team keeps it a little bit cleaner. And then the red zone. Like, Ben Johnson's talked about the red zone. The red zone has not been their thing lately. 21st in red zone efficiency. And I don't know if it was who was blitzing last week, but Caleb looked very good against the blitz. Like, not all blitzes are created equal.
Mm-hmm.
That would make you think, hey, if you're the Ravens, sit back and play some coverage, but guys have to win up front, and that has turned into a thing that, we can't bank on that. I want to shout out Darnell Wright. He is having, like, an all-pro caliber year. I mean, the guy's a total fucking stud. So,
things going right for him.
So, another fun player to watch and watching a game like this. Yeah, things are going right for him. But otherwise, like, dudes lined up in the other spots, they got to win. They got to win. And I do think, like, Caleb has played some good football this year. Last week, not one of his best games. Not one of his best games. And I didn't think he played great against Washington either. I'm still waiting for him to, like, put it together. And don't count me in the group of people that doesn't think he can. I know he can. You also have to realize with this offensive line, like, there's 4 new guys on this offensive line this year. Like, when you look at it, like, how many of those guys were starting last year for this group? I think it's going to take time, and you pointed this out the other day, and I don't think it's a hot take. Like, the Bears might be scary at the end of the year. In how we define scary, like, are they contenders or are they a team you just, they're going to be tough to beat, or are they a playoff team? They'll be better as the year goes on because they have continued to improve, and it's more time with Ben Johnson getting them on the same page in what they do. Like, you got to be ready to fit up outside zone. We know that.
Isn't it crazy what winning does for a franchise? Remember how much noise was around Chicago Bears? It just feels like a few weeks ago, and then you win a few games, and
it's louder now, I feel like.
You think so?
Because of the positivity.
Oh, okay.
People have been starved for this. Seriously. If they win this game, and it's funny to say because it's a 1-5 team.
It's going to start getting
unrealistic. But it's the Ravens.
Oh, yeah. So that's going to be a game where
it'll be a big deal if they can win this game. The line moved from 3.5 to 6.5.
Even the Ravens with this record, it's a big game. You don't feel like, hey,
it's a big game. Yeah. It's a big game, dude. It's a big game for the Bears. They're surging. They've been running the ball. We'll see if it sticks. So
you think it's a bigger game for the Bears to win this, or if the Ravens?
Oh, the Ravens are back against the wall.
Yeah, this is it.
If the Ravens lose this game, they might start selling.
What?
Even though they're even money to win the fucking division, it just feels like if you lose this game, like things are. I've been on teams like this before, like not maybe that was expected to be as good as this team.
As them, yeah.
But shit, I always talk about the Super Bowl defense year, like 2018. We start 4-6. Like, when you're climbing out of a hole like that, you only get a couple. Like, how many times you hear in your own head and like internally in a locker room, like, if we don't win this one, it's over. It's do or die. And then you lose, and the coach comes back in again next week. He's like, we still got a shot.
Still got a shot.
Like, that's that's a constant. Like when you're chasing mistakes you made earlier in the season.
Hey, look, guys, it's slim. Chances are slim, but we're not out of it yet.
Yeah, well, it goes from like, hey, Saturday night, like, this is it, fellas. You know what happens if we don't win this game? We all die. Like shit like that. And then like on Monday, I'll be like, all right, guys, well, we're going to flush it. And, stranger things have happened. So I don't think
respawn.
But I don't think the Ravens want to find out. Like, they absolutely need this one. And this is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's going to be bad.
This is going to be a lot of fun.
Hey, we can talk about this for 3 seconds, and maybe the tight end turns out to be good, but can you imagine if the Bears took Tyler Warren, perhaps the best player in football?
Holy shit.
That clip of them laughing at the Bears or the GM? They're laughing what team?
It was a different team. It was
they like laughed hysterically when they picked someone not Tyler Warren.
I know. I just watched this video.
And I think that's so great.
Who was picked right ahead of Tyler Warren?
Yeah, whoever it was. No shade to him, but it's just funny when like you're a recruit and you kind of know.
The Dolphins
when they took the kid from Penn State.
Kenneth Grant.
Was it Penn State?
Michigan,
Big Ten.
They were hysterically laughing. They were like, they didn't get
And the Kenneth Grant guy, like, people are calling him all types of names. I got to be honest. I have not watched him enough to say for sure if he's terrible. Like, but I think anybody playing in Miami this year, if they're a young guy, deserves a little grace. It's one of those situations. Having said that, it does look like Tyler Warren is the ball player. So, I'm looking forward to this game. I really am. And then the next one is
Eagles Giants.
And I do think there's a chance this game's tight. It kind of depends on the injuries. Like, one of the most jarring things was watching the Giants secondary down at Debo last week. Banks being out there is really a rough deal.
Down at
and the other guy, 22, fucking
Drew Phillips.
Drew Phillips had a rough one. And the effort on the Evan Ingram play, which basically he's almost in field goal range at that point, and Phillips just kind of like gives him a little soft shove, and Ingram picks up another 10, 12 yards. That was just, you talk about a place you don't want to be. You do not want to be in that defensive meeting room on Monday or Tuesday or whenever they rip the Band-Aid off and whenever that film. I think Giants defense, whoever lost that game was going to play really well this week. And I feel like the Giants are going to come out really intense in this game. But so will the Eagles, because just 2 weeks ago they lost to this football team. So it's going to be a fucking tense football game. I don't know. What do we have injury-wise at this point in the week? Yet AJ didn't practice.
Cam Jurgens has not practiced.
Yeah,
looking like Brett Toth will be in there at center with Landon Dickerson at left guard. And then on the Giants side, Adebo has not practiced. Brian Burns has not practiced, nor has Javon Holland. Yeah, I defer to Macon on the pronunciation.
Go ahead.
Javon Holland.
Javon. So yeah, listen, a lot of ifs, but like if you're a Giants fan, if your secondary is healthy, I think you can muddy this thing up. The defensive line, who I actually thought they did a pretty good job against up front. Philly did a couple weeks ago for the most part. I don't know if it's hard to figure out this run game, man. I think a lot of it's personnel dependent. There's a lot of people that want to take a side. They want to say, is it personnel or is it scheme? It's one or the other. I think it's both. I think it's definitely both for the Eagles. And so, like last week, tried to get it going, got the play action pass off of it. I'm interested to see where they go week to week here. Like, watching the Eagles is always interesting, but at this point in the season where they're still figuring out what they have, the offensive coordinator is getting his feet under him. Like, are they going to improve week to week? I thought there were some improvements last week and some things that were not much better. Right? Like, baby steps. What about Bob, the movie? Baby steps. Have to control the scrambles defensively. League high plus 12.8 EPA on scramble runs for Jackson Dart. Eight first downs picked up with his legs. I would imagine you're going to see some heavy boxes if you're the Giants, and that's the way I would play it. I would say heavy box. That was funny.
Just a little bit.
It is.
Just a little bit.
I never think of it that way, but a heavy box. What are you imagining when I say heavy
box?
Like
like a full-figured woman.
Yeah. Nice heavy box.
Yep. Heavy boxes, right? You know what that you're gonna see a lot of heavy boxes Sunday, because if I were Vic Fangio, I would say, Jackson Dart, you have to beat me. You have to beat me. Good luck. You got to beat me. And we are down a corner, but you're going to be better off than you were in the second half of that game 2 weeks ago, because Quinyon Mitchell's going to be playing. Like, that was a huge deal. You talk about a game that's going to go totally differently. I think this game goes totally differently. I'm not saying like from a standpoint of, the Eagles blow them out or, this, that, and third. It's just the way this game's going to be played is going to go a lot differently. And I'm interested to see, the market adjustment. We, guys talk about this, 2 weeks ago, Eagles on the road without Carter, favored by 7 in that game?
Yep.
You turn around and you're a touchdown favorite at home now with Carter. I think that's a lot of that's respecting the Giants, books respecting the Giants. So I see the game being lower scoring than it was a couple weeks ago, just by the fact that Vic will have a better game plan. Jalen Carter's playing, huge difference. I know people are upset about like he's not making a ton of splash plays, or people made him the next Reggie White.
But he's going to at least
and he's not playing like Reggie White, but he's still playing like Jalen Carter, and that makes a big difference when he's not in the game. And you saw that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and especially playing against someone like Scatterable, you gotta slow down his momentum any way you can, so that these backers can be running downhill and be effective trying to tackle him. Because I know Bond probably still dreaming about that hit, trying to run full speed and thinking you're about to burp someone on the sideline, and they kind of send you flying. So you kind of have to knock him off his track before he gets going.
You got to bring your pads. It's a rally and tackle thing with this guy.
Yep, that's it.
It's an absolutely rally and tackle thing with he is.
You got to get
classic NFL running back.
Yeah, and you got to hit those thigh boards. You have to like put your helmet on his thigh or outside his thigh or on the ball, and like aim for his hip to thigh, because he's a dude. If you hit him higher than that, he's not going down. You got to stop his leg.
I don't know how else to say this. I wonder what it feels like to tackle Scattaboo. Like, I can remember what it felt like to hit Marshawn's body,
and it was like a brick wall.
It felt like he had heavy bones.
Yeah,
it felt like they poured Quickcrete in him, and he that's what his skeleton's made of.
Yeah,
and you just remember I remember little flashes, and people are like, "Well, that's CT," but I remember Michael Turner, like the way it felt to bounce off the little bowling ball. He's like Adrian Peterson.
I was just about to say,
I wonder what it feels like to hit Scattaboo, because he is making guys look like it feels a lot like that.
Yeah, and
I'm not saying he's on the level of those guys, but he's a tough tackle.
Always the hammer, not the nail.
He's a tough tackle, dude. And hey, pull that picture up of Jeffrey Lurie, will you? Lurie's over there. When the owners, supposedly, Jeffrey Lurie has been watching O-line drills for a while.
For a while.
So if Jeffrey's parked outside your individual drills, he's curious what's going on. He wants to run the ball. He wants to run the ball better. I don't know, Noel. This is certainly an interesting one. When you get a division game spread apart 2 weeks, like how different are the game plans going to be side to side?
Yeah, well, I think the biggest thing, piggybacking off your point about Vic Fangio, that I think would, as I'm saying this, I'll look up what the blitz rate was in the first game in the first matchup. But I think in this one, I mean, as we've been watching Dart, you talk about the scrambling. I think the best stuff he does right now is late in the down.
Yep.
He's very calm back there. Has kind of like an easy way about him in the pocket. And I think if I'm Vic Fangio right now, his time to throw is about 2.98 seconds. I want to see who he is if his time to throw is 2.5.
Like
really speed him up. Like let's see him play try to play faster, see what kind of decisions he's making, see if he can get the ball out of his hand quickly. Obviously, Jalen Carter factors into that with some quick pressures, but also kind of ramping the blitz rate up a little bit. I think could maybe tilt the odds in the Eagles' favor a little bit just by making him uncomfortable.
Fuck, dude, we saw it at the end of the game, and Denver didn't have a hot, or the Giants didn't have a hot for him on a pivotal third down where he just blindly throws the ball into the panic zone because he hadn't thought it through, and he's a young player, and like I like that. That's a good point. I would like to see Vic turn up the heat a little bit and like put some pressure on this guy, make him beat you. And he did it 2 weeks ago. Make him do it twice in 3 weeks.
Make him do it fast.
Do it fast. Do it with Quignon on the field, and do it twice in 3 weeks. And we talk about like how it's interesting. Each team the Eagles played has either taken advantage of or not taken advantage of that third corner, whoever it is.
Right.
And it was interesting that Minnesota did not. And some teams over the past month have. And the outcome is usually, Tampa did not. Teams that, listen, if you want free plays, if you're having a hard time playing offense against the Eagles, I take a shot every possession at whoever the third corner is, hoping for a yellow flag or a first down.
Yeah, and that's a great point, specifically with, as you'll remember, in this first Giants matchup, obviously you had Quignon go down, but from that point forward, Cooper DeJean was only targeted once, which was pretty smart by the Giants, saying, we're going to stay away from him. He's obviously the best corner they have. Go at Jackson, go at Ringo. I think in this game, for the Giants, a point of emphasis offensively is to maximize the number of snaps Ringo plays.
That's
right.
You
want them to be in nickel personnel
Force him
as
in
much
the
as possible. Right. And throw at him all day.
Force him into nickel. What's the opposite of a milk check?
Milk check?
Like where you don't, all the white guys are like, I don't want to say. So Nate, that was a question for you. What's the opposite of a milk check? Because like, what is it when
I would
you stay
think
away
a
from the white corner?
A chocolate milk check.
But what about when you stay away from the white corner? It's not usually a thing that I've ever heard uttered. Like
check ghost. Check ghost. Black people, we don't like ghost. Stay away from ghost.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's pretty good.
Check Casper. Yeah, Casper.
Yeah. Check mayonnaise.
Check mayo. That's a good one.
Yeah. All right. Do y'all like mayonnaise?
No.
I love mayonnaise.
Sorry.
I wouldn't.
Y'all.
Sorry.
God, the privilege on you.
Wow.
Y'all. You don't like mayonnaise? You guys don't eat mayo?
I hate mayonnaise.
Really?
Do you not know? There was a time on this show where I had to eat mayonnaise. It was the grossest thing I've ever done.
Bro, a turkey club, a triple-decker turkey club with extra mayo is like
that's the best place to hide it, but it's still
extra. I'll do like a light mayo on a hoagie. Give me a little light mayo.
See, white people like shit dry. Y'all like your shit dry.
No, there's plenty of wet things to put on a sandwich.
Mustard.
I'm not even into that.
You want to know?
You like it.
Do you guys like omelets?
Yeah, but not for a sandwich.
You guys like omelets? I just learned this trick, and it's game changer.
What is it?
You take a spoonful of mayo, you take a raw egg, you mix it up, you throw a little butter in it, you put it in a dish, 45 seconds in the microwave, the best omelet ever.
No, I know. I put rice and egg in there in the microwave, but you don't know, man. Fuck out of here.
I'm telling you, a Michelin chef,
man, a Michelin chef.
He went viral for saying this on Rogan's show, and like if you go and try it, you're like, wait, this is actually good, and it's been saving me a lot of time in the morning because my daughter loves that for breakfast. It's really easy to.
That's a hack.
I can get a good look at
We're done with the
butcher's ass. All right. Graham Gano back at practice.
That's right.
For the Giants.
And then the last one that constitutes is like this is an important and good game because the Niners are one of the best teams in the NFC, even with all the injuries that they've incurred. We said again, like, and you guys didn't catch me on the, I would assume you didn't catch what I said on Tuesday night with Stanford Steve, but the Texans on the other side, C.J. Stroud has been reduced to rubble. And last year I would blame all of it on Houston, and I suppose there's still like, I don't know how you want to quantify the blame. It's still a lot of on Houston. But like part of it is him now. You know, like he has to play better. And it doesn't pay me to say that because yeah, it's not like I'm married to a take, but like I thought he'd be a lot better year 3 than he is. Also, no way to know what he'd be like if he were in a stable situation. This is the opposite of a stable situation. But even when he has a clean pocket now, and I think this is the week that maybe you get some clean pockets, right? Because San Francisco, they want to go trade for an edge rusher. They have not been like a dominant rushing team. You got to get Bryce Huff blocked, okay? But he'll have a clean pocket and he'll panic check the ball down because his internal clock has been sped up over years now, 2 years, better part of 2 years. So he has to trust. They got to come out this week with a much better game plan, That was just not good enough. Seattle whooped their motherfucking ass the other night. Seriously, and it's not all just physically getting beaten. It's bad calls in the low red. It's drop footballs. It's penalties. It was a horror show watching that game. Seriously, I stayed up to watch it. I was one of the brave few that was still standing at 2 a.m. had a fucking raw cone in my hand watching Tim Settle, a Virginia Tech Hokie, who I spent a lot of time with at the SAC Summit. I really liked Tim Settle. And I got the fucking Texans +4, and it's still alive somehow. If you watch that game, you'd know what I'm talking about. It was insane that they were still in it at the end of the fucking football game. 4 turnovers the defense forced. They scored on defense. Tim Settle, before they're going to get the ball back one more time with a prayer because D'Amico Ryans doesn't tell the kicker to, or the kicker can't fucking hear him, kick the ball out of bounds at the end of the game with 1 timeout. Tim Settle, JOP, jump on the pile like it's 2002 and we're allowed to do that anymore. You know how we used to be allowed to do that?
Yep.
You watch some ACC tape in 2007. I used to JOP every play, bro, because scouts like that shit. But when you're in the NFL, bro, they don't let you do it anymore. So please, Tim Settle, don't do that anymore, bro. That was like the worst ending to the game. I was like, oh my God, I feel so cheated. I feel so like mad that I stayed up to watch this game.
Where at in your Chris Long situational book where'd this go?
You know, it's something that's not talked about enough, but if I were, a defensive line coach, it'd be one of those things where I'm like, bro, like just avoid that, especially when we stop them on 3rd down and we're about to receive a punt. We get one more chance. Not that we're going to do a goddamn thing with it because we're the Houston Texans, and this offseason, here are the things we did. Seriously. Traded for C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Gone.
Cut him after 3 games. Cam Robinson. Benched and traded. Darrell Taylor. I was excited to see my dog Darrell Taylor in Houston. He's barely played. Braxton Berrios.
Berrios.
They traded out of the fucking 1st round. They had a terrible offseason, and I can't believe it took me till the first game to realize it. Like I should have seen it. They were selling hope. It just is one of those things where they're like, oh, we got a new offensive line coach and he's making the guys do push-ups. And I was like, yeah, they'll be fine. The guy was in New England. Cole Popovich was in New England. They'll be fine. They're doing push-ups. They care more. Titus Howard's at tackle. Like, they just fucking care more. When's Joe Mixon coming back? Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about
Woody
it.
Marks.
I don't think anybody's seen him. Like,
Woody.
I don't know where he is. They draft 2 wide receivers.
Combined for 18 catches.
Noel made some nice plays the other night. I'd like to see him on the field a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Mert.
But, like, involve the fucking tight end. Force feed Nico Collins the ball, who's in concussion protocol. This is 7th circle of hell stuff. And then, on the other hand, Mac Jones has just shredded cover 3 this year. And they look like all of a sudden they're running the football again, because I told you that would happen with George Kittle coming back, and Juszczyk was the 2 of them on the field together. Like, it's just
is Mac playing?
And they'll use Kittle to align you. Like, they'll use Kittle to dictate your alignment and then run away from him. They'll Juszczyk's out in space. Like, you watched them run the football the other night. and they really look like vintage San Francisco running the football. They have not looked like that to this point. I'm interested to see. This is one matchup I'm looking forward to, not for the offense, for Houston's defense, because they got to do it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what this is at this point. And like, again, the Azeez Al-Shaair penalty, I don't know if you were awake when that happened the other night, but you can't do that.
Yeah.
It's just dumb. It's just dumb. Like when you get him under his thigh, and like, I love Azeez Al-Shaair. But like, they got to play smarter. This Niners team, even for all the people they're missing, playing really fucking well.
So let me ask you this.
But this could be the week that Stroud gets a clean pocket. He has to just believe it.
Bengals team captain Logan Wilson has requested a trade. If you're the Niners, would you be looking at someone like that?
If I'm the Bucs, I'm absolutely looking at him. I'm hoping my Bucs get him. But the Niners should be looking at I don't know, because that Bethune guy played pretty well the other night.
Played well.
So I don't know if they feel like sending draft capital over for somebody like that. I think first they deal with the defensive line. But
how about the Dallas Cowboys?
Dallas Cowboys are going to get Hall of Famer Overshown back, and they could probably use another guy too. But here's the thing I like about Logan, and we're going to get to that in a second when we talk about this game, is he got benched for the young guy. They're doing a youth movement. They got 2 young linebackers. Logan's a casualty. And he stood tall at the fucking locker and was like, listen, man, this is part of the business. My job now is to bring him along, and I'm going to be a quality vet. But in 10 days, I'm going to ask to get traded, and I don't blame you, right? But it's a tough business, man. But I think San Francisco's got enough to win this football game. They've been winning plenty of football games, but Houston's back is against the wall. If they don't play well in this game, if they don't find a way to win this game, blow it up.
Blow it up how?
Haven't decided yet.
Okay. Who's the first one you trade in?
Honestly, dude, I'm not trading anybody on that defense. That's the thing about it. Is like, now maybe.
But like, if I'm a team, it's just like, if you're not talking defense, it's like, I don't really like. You're gonna give me C.J. Stroud?
If they lose, somebody's gonna send a lot of capital over, more than you think, for Azeez Al-Shaair. And I don't know if they would say yes to that, because he is a leader on that defense, and like, he is just a fucking Scud missile. Now, offensively, that's an interesting one. If the New York Jets are going to send you a first-round pick for C.J. Stroud, what you doing?
Ooh.
You're not doing it, because there's no quarterbacks in this class, and you probably think C.J. is still good, because you know internally how fucking pathetic you've been setting the table for him around him.
That's a no.
No.
That's a no.
I'm just thinking, who is on the who?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
They're so bad offensively. There's no pieces. Nico Collins is the only guy.
And like you said,
you can't.
I'm not. Yeah, you got to blow that defense up.
So who would they sell? Nolan, who would they sell?
They do have depth in the secondary. The first person I thought of was Lassiter, because remember Jalen Smith, the rookie they're kind of high on. He's actually coming back. He was bad. I forget what the injury was, but he returned to practice. So you do have a depth piece there if you're, if you make that move.
That's right.
Playing for this year anyway. Lassiter's a guy who would go. I mean, the safeties, they have some depth there, whether it's Bullock or if you move Petrie.
Daniil Hunter's 31, making $20 million.
That's the one. That's the one. A lot of teams want a pass rusher right now.
Golly, I don't know if they give him up. He looks like he's got a couple more good years in him. How many more years on his deal?
Let's see. He
Lassiter to the Eagles. Book it, dude. He went to Georgia. I forgot.
Yeah, but Max Crosby grew up 40 minutes from Dallas and saying nah.
Yeah.
He's under contract through next season.
Ooh.
But he could be moved. He could be moved this year. The base salary isn't too high. But if you're going to move one of those defensive ends, you're not going to. Will Anderson.
No, there's no chance. Will Anderson's your guy for the next 10 years, and he's on his rookie deal. So it doesn't. But the Hunter thing's interesting. That's a dark horse deal where it's like nobody's been talking about him, and I didn't even think about him off the top because I didn't realize he was up next year. But being older, I don't know. Maybe you'd listen. Like what? I mean, somebody desperate who needs a fucking rusher right now.
Dallas.
I don't know if Philly could afford him.
Is this game home or away? He could
Houston.
Okay, he can get on the plane with the Niners.
With the Niners, they could just be some best plane ride.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's crazy.
Next to Robert Saleh.
Okay, so that's probably the last of the real high quality games. But as we know, it's all going to be fun. In the 1 p.m. slate, we've got Jets Bengals. Listen, I know Justin Fields is not a very good quarterback right now. Will he ever be? I don't know. But like the Woody critique, even mentioning him to me, I don't know, Woody. How does that differentiate him from anybody who's ever worn the fucking uniform for your team? I know Justin Fields has a problem, but you also have the biggest problem, which is that like no one has ever played quarterback well for your team.
Could it all
for
be
a sustained period of time? And don't tell me Joe Namath was good.
Could it all be a motivating factor? Like by Woody, could it, if you're a player, could it all be a motivating thing? Like Woody saying these things to motivate?
No, because it's just unheard of. Like owners don't like single out players, especially ones that they just paid $40 million over 2 years. Like you might allude to the offense being not great. I think what he was trying to do was like he's defending his pick of Aaron Glenn, like and throwing Justin Fields under the bus because he feels so good about Aaron Glenn, and he should, in my opinion, because I actually think Aaron Glenn's, if they can figure out the offense, like the defense is playing really fucking well. Now, God forbid they ever have a good quarterback, they're going to lose the offensive coordinator right away to some other team because they're going to be like, who the fuck is this guy? They got a Jets quarterback to play well. Let's give him $1 billion. And then that cycle persists. That's the defensive head coach thing. But I think Woody's just kind of like backing the bus up over, or backing the jet up over Justin Fields on the tarmac here. And that's fucked up.
Really a shot of Fields. The other person I think this could be kind of a perceived shot at too is the general manager, Darren Moogie. Like as a GM, any decision you make, if it doesn't work out, it's always going to be evaluated against the decision you could have made, whether that's in the draft or free agency. And, Woody Johnson's looking at his quarterback struggle, and he's also looking around the league seeing, the Jones brothers, Daniel Jones and Mac Jones, ball out, who are both available in free agency.
Yeah. And
while it would be disingenuous to think these guys would have performed as well in New York this season than they have where they are now, there's probably an element of where Woody's looking at those guys and then looking at the GM saying, what tape are you watching?
Yeah, I mean, this is just an owner acting like a child, though. At the end of the day, I mean, like, and those things might be. I mean, you make a great point, Noel, but it's like for me, it's like
same owner that was asking his grandkids like about people's stats from Madden.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not
No, I know you're not. I'm just saying, like, so people know. Like, my take is, this guy, grow the fuck up, dude. How do you have so much, but like so little common sense, dude? I'm being funny about the Joe Namath thing, but really go back and tell me, has there ever been like an elite quarterback that's played football for the Jets? And Aaron Rodgers was elite at a point, ends up in New York. Like Sam Darnold was elite after New York, if you want to say he's elite now. But like the common denominator always seems to be the Jets, man. Like, Chad Pennington was a stud. I love Chad Pennington, but like he wasn't elite. Mark Sanchez, I know Squanch. There's controversy around him, but he was a tough dude, a leader, like all that stuff, but not elite. And so yeah, I just think it's fucking weird to take a shot at Justin Fields.
And Justin Fields responded, well, I thought.
And people still got mad at him because he was like, I didn't see it. And they were like, bullshit, you didn't see it. That's why you suck.
Can't see shit.
I'm like, golly, dude. So anyways, I don't know if this is true. Can you find out if this is true? In the meantime, can somebody, since 2000, Mike White is the leader in yards per game. It's a very small sample size for him, but like I think Mike White might be their average yards per game leader at quarterback.
Yeah, it checks out.
Because didn't he have some crazy
He played well.
Yeah. I think Josh McCown's the leader in rating. Jeremy Fowler says Trey Hendrickson, Cam Taylor-Britt, and Logan Wilson are possible trade targets. The one that's interesting to me is, obviously we already talked about Logan Wilson, but Cam Taylor-Britt in a thin corner market. I mean, the guy I feel like, and I'm not trying to be funny, has been benched like 3 times over the past like 16 months. I've seen so many, and to his credit, he always is classy at the locker, but like I've seen so many press conferences where like he's got to explain why he didn't play last week or something, or some big mistake he made. I still think he's got a lot of talent, and maybe his former coordinator in Indy who knows him well, it's the devil he knows, like might say, hey, like that's a pretty cost-effective way for us to get a corner in the building. Hendrickson, I don't know. Like I'm interested to see what the asking price is. I think Trey's still really, really, really good, but I don't like. He's certainly not worth the same haul as a Max Crosby.
Could it be a thing where they are using this game as, hey, if they somehow lose, then it's like, all right, hey, let's let him go. Just because it's right before. But if they win, then hey, we're gonna hold on to it.
They're in 1 week at a time mode. Now I don't know internally what they plan to do. Like they might plan to move Logan Wilson and Cam Taylor-Britt anyways. But on somebody like Trey Hendrickson, who they've got to pay at the end of the season anyways, right? So like they want to get something for him if they're not going anywhere. And when you pair with the fact that, like, I was reading an old article from September about Joe Burrow's injury, like 2021, the Orthopedic Journal at Harvard Medical School, 25 players who had turf toe injuries required surgery between 2000 and 2017. None returned to play the same season. 5 never returned at all and had to retire. I don't think he's going to have to retire. I just think, like, baked into the conversation, and maybe we'll know something more about Joe Burrow's rehab. If they win this game and start selling pieces, that probably means Joe Burrow's not rehabbing well, and they know they're not going to get him back. But only they know that. And the track record is not great for when you actually get that thing repaired. But he would probably miss the season no matter what. He'd just be back in the playoffs. I don't think anybody expects him back in the regular season.
If Green Bay beats Pittsburgh, they're a win over the Jets away from being a half game out of first place.
And that's the wild shit. And that's why I've been like fucking trumpeting this thing for a month, which has been like, do something. Do something.
Brother.
Do something, brother. Like, I'm sorry. Maybe it's the fact that I played football and I know how much a single season, you take years off your life playing football. You take time off your life playing 16, 17 games of football. Guys don't want to fucking sit there with their thumb up their ass. They want to win. And so, guys made plays last week that told me they don't want to go home. And so you got to win this game, though. Well, you have to win this game.
And Logan Wilson is just playing less. I mean, this isn't like bad locker room, I want out. It's
no, they're bringing the young guy along.
Yeah.
So, and that's our guy, Al Golden.
That's right.
Okay, so the other one, we got Bills at Panthers. We keep this pretty simple. Like, you got to stop the run if you're the Bills. Obviously the Panthers have been kind of a two-headed monster on the ground. They've also been pressuring better. I shouted out Nick Scorton last week. I'm not saying they're a bad football team. And I think, honestly, the delta between Bryce Young and a very experienced, cagey Andy Dalton is not, like, enormous as much as I cape for Bryce Young and the whole thing. However, I think this offensive line is up to the task for the Bills. Coming off a bye, I think they're going to be in good shape. Josh Allen, surprisingly, has struggled versus pressure this year. This is from Warren Sharp, who's really good on the stats. Number 19 completion percentage, 48%. Number 20 yards per attempt, 5.4. 2 to 4 touchdown to interception ratio. That's verse pressure, but when he's clean, number 7 in completion percentage, number 4 in yards per attempt, 9 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Say that to say this week looks pretty good for the Bills if the offensive line can handle it. If I'm the Panthers, I try to shorten this game. I try to limit possessions because anytime you watch the Bills and they struggle, it's a team that brings pressure. Okay, check. Right, it's Josh running for his life, and it's the other team sustaining longer drives and keeping the ball away and running the football, which is something that people have been able to do at will against the Bills. So, and the Panthers, as I said, they've been better, but they rank dead last in pressure rate.
I'd like to note that the Bills are winless since I requested somebody book my undefeated season bet.
God, you did that?
0-2.
Fuck you. And then we've got
just a couple of personnel things, Chris, that I know Bills fans are excited about. Michael Hoyt and Ogunjobi are back off the suspensions. Yep, those guys will be back, and then Harrison's practicing. So I don't know if we'll see him this week, but Maxwell Harrison, the rookie who's been out this first half of the season, is he's back on the practice field. So
really need those additions to make a big difference. And I think the biggest one's obviously Harrison. If Harrison turns out to be a stud, like if he's like a Quinyon Mitchell type guy, the whole thing flips. I'm not saying it flips completely, but it changes a lot. Because if you have a healthy secondary with him and Benford outside, then you can make a move for a safety at the trade deadline. Cross your fingers, hope that Matt Milano stays healthy. Cross your fingers, hope that guys up front stay healthy, and you piece it together. You might have to, manufacture pressure sometimes. I'm starting to get some. I'm starting to get some responses to my Glizzy tweet.
Are they good?
Somebody said, the dog itself might taste similar, but most regionally specific ones have different toppings or condiments. A Colombian hot dog in South Florida and a Chicago dog dragged through the garden are very different experiences.
Very true. But not 50 states.
That's the guy with the brain between his ears.
How about a Rhode Island dog? What's in that? All right. So, anyways, Browns, Pat. Speaking of New England,
probably some lobster on it.
I am interested to see how the Pats play in this game. Because we've given them a lot of props. These are the defenses they faced so far: Raiders, Dolphins, Steelers, Panthers, Bills, Saints, Titans. I'm not questioning the top end talent of the quarterback. There are some things that early in the season we were worried about, namely the wide receiving core outside of Stephon Diggs. And before we saw him play, we were worried about the offensive line, but those guys are pretty good.
Booty.
They don't have like a dominant run game. I think the Browns defense matches up pretty well. Dylan Gabriel and the Browns offense, like, can they move the ball enough? You got to feel like it's going to be a force feed Judkins game. By the way, Dylan Gabriel, 100 passes, no interceptions. I saw some stat this week. He joins like Tom Brady and like a couple people.
It's a crazy list.
That's what's wrong with that stats.
Brady, Warren Moon, Case Keenum, Carson Wentz, C.J. Stroud.
Perfect. It's a perfect mix of guys, man. But that to me is that's what it is. I want to see the and that guy right there, Christian Gonzalez. Since he's been back, they've been really good on defense. But
Drake May, 4th best odds to win NFL MVP.
Right? Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
And Christian Gonzalez, he insinuated in his press conference that he wanted Dylan Gabriel to throw the ball. We want to take the ball off him. We're excited for it.
Imagine if he said that about the third string quarterback. Like people outside his house. But at some point, it would be nice to see the third string quarterback. I'm going to ask for it every week so we can just like, let's just see it, dude.
Shador.
Okay. So the other dog shit game in the first. I didn't even mean to be funny, but this is a dog shit game. Fins Falcons. Tua said this week, we don't even need to talk about this game.
I said it a few weeks ago.
I need Penix to play a lot better.
They need to get him off the.
But Tua can't be at the podium anymore.
Stop talking.
Bro, like he said this week that he can't see guys over the line.
Like,
I told you guys.
Yeah, like, but why? Like, why do you say that? Like, why do you think? Do you think that the media, the way they treat you already, that you're gonna say something up there that's gonna give you grace? Like he said it like they're gonna like, oh, you know what? He's right. He can't see. he can't see over the line, guys. So like, let's give him a pass.
I don't know what I think like he's in an honesty is the best policy mood.
Why aren't they scheming him out of the pocket?
Yeah. If Mike was really upset with Tua, he'd put him on the run. Like if he hated Tua, he would make him roll him out a lot this week.
That's crazy.
And dial up a lot of shots, and like that is conceivably a pretty funny thing if Mike just keeps calling shots.
Bootleg.
Can a player
bootleg
and empty versus blitz? Just what?
These are just to his press conference moments this year. You know, saying
this is my favorite one. Go ahead.
Cam Newton?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the best. Saying you'd like to see Cam Newton try to be a pro quarterback.
I'd like to see some of these people talking. And it was like in the question, they were like, so Cam Newton, former Super Bowl quarterback and MVP, said that you're not playing well. Like to see him try.
Could a running back, could Achane grab him by the hips and lift him up so he could throw a ball? Or is that?
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
What's the rule on kicks we don't like?
Leverage. Bro, run him out there in like street performer lifts.
Yeah.
Like stilts.
Yeah.
Play better, Penix. Run game.
Bucs and Saints?
Okay, Bucs have a QB with an injury, I'm pretty sure now. That was my theory coming out of the other night. Not to make excuses for him because he's not my I'm not trying to make – he's in the MVP conversation. You know I love Bake, but he's not like a top 2 or 3 quarterback in the league. This isn't me caping for him. But if you watch the balls he threw the other night, it was awful.
Yep.
Like it was so uncharacteristically bad. And I'm the first one to tell you, I've said this year so far, he has not played his best ball, and he's still in MVP consideration. They haven't had a full deck outside. Obviously, that just gets worse with the Mike Evans thing, which was a brutal injury. I could not believe the guys on the broadcast. Were you watching? They were like, I don't know what the injury could be, but he's still down. And they're like showing him like snoring.
Yeah.
And they're like,
yeah.
And it could be anything, but I don't know. We'll have to wait. Lisa, what do we think? And she's like, yeah, they're not sure right now. I watched him. He was out on the field for a minute and a half.
Mm-hmm.
They took that collarbone thing and used it to not say the word concussion on TV. That was some wild shit. But they have a quarterback with an injury, in my opinion, because that line stunk last week, and it turned out I know why, because he played terrible. And a negative point differential on the season. And troubling trend for me is, and this was in the doc. This is in the gambling section. Bowls teams have not bounced back from poor performances. 10-29 straight up the game after scoring under 20 points in a loss, and 4-9 straight up with the Bucs. And this is a really troubling one. Outscored 68-16 in the opening quarter of games this year. Last year, 11-6 against the spread in the first quarter. I told you the other day I didn't want to come out of that game. I was holding my breath when I watched it, and I was thinking to myself, like, fuck, I hope it's not all the coordinator. He schemed some shit up in the second half for that group that Baker didn't hit. I think now I'm worried about their game plan. The adjustments seem to be okay, but I'm kind of worrying about how they're game planning. Like Liam Cohen is a loss in a way, and we'll see if Grizzard can come along this season. But last year, 11-6 against the spread in the first quarter, outscored 68-16 in the opening quarter of games this year. That's not good. Got to start faster. Titans, Colts. I got nothing on this game other than the fact that the Colts, I saw a stat this week that the Colts are averaging more points per game than the 07 Pats.
Points per drive.
Football's changed. Yeah, more points per drive. But when you watch them, like they're a machine. And the Colts worked out Shaq Barrett. The Colts worked out Shaq Barrett this week. Did you hear this?
There you go. You've been pushing for an edge rusher.
Somebody.
On the note about the Colts offense, they might score 100 points this week. It only gets bad to worse for the Titans. Snead is on IR, and they might be down Jeffrey Simmons too. He didn't play in the second half with a hamstring.
That's a yikes.
He has not yet practiced this week.
Yeah, down.
Nah, he left. He left the game early last.
There you go.
No.
Yeah,
left it early.
He's having deadline difficulties. So anyways, is that all the games?
It's all the games.
All the games.
Fucking right it is. Guys, anything else?
Tyler Warren's in a group with Evan Ingram and Heath Miller. Touchdowns in 4 consecutive games.
Heath Miller, the head ball coach at St. Anne's Belfield School, undefeated St. Anne's Belfield School. They play Atlantic Shores this week.
Yeah.
Shout out to defensive coordinator Tom Paquette and vibes guy,
nice,
Kevin Badke.
Yeah, recruiting
and offensive coordinator Joe Reed.
Oh, and OC Joe Reed.
Yeah,
and Austin Pastor. There's a lot of good coaches over there. America's team. Anyways, y'all take care. I I will be seeing y'all.